The Giants, one of those teams now thinking about next year as they have parted ways with Ben McAdoo and Jerry Reese, their GM, so the head coach and the GM gone. Is this the right move for a team with only 2 wins so far?
The right move, based on what we've seen happen with this team. Not just on the football field, but, of course, in the locker room. It seems to me he lost the team. They had no trust in him. And now making this move based on what he did a week ago, benching your best option at the quarterback position, I have no issue with this.
11 wins a year ago in Ben McAdoo's first year. They lost, of course, in the wild card game after those pictures came out on the boat. So it's really been tumultuous ever since then when you look at it in Ben McAdoo's tenure. Now, a lot of blame's been going around, of course, to the GM and the head coach. But the owner, John Mara, addressed both of those issues earlier today. Take a listen.
We still started out 0-5 with relatively healthy roster until that 5th game when all the wide receivers got hurt. So, yeah, I'm embarrassed about that. And that's one of the reasons I'm standing here. Ben came up with the plan. I initially signed off on the plan. My hope had been to talk to him to try to have a little more flexibility with it, not have a hard and fast time when he was going to come out of the game. But by then, Eli rightfully had rejected the notion of only starting and playing a half and coming out, and we had issued the statement, and it was just too late at that point.
Very interesting to hear this. Yeah, it is confusing to hear John Mara say, well, I kind of signed off on, is what it sounded like. You see the drop-off from last year to this year, and it has been dramatic. The biggest drop-off in the NFL so far this year. They have not scored more than 30 points in any game under Ben McAdoo's tenure. It's the 3rd longest active streak right now, which is amazing to think about. So why did he get fired? Was it the Eli? Was it that this was a former offensive coordinator and they couldn't score points? Or was it just all of the above?
All of the above combined. Now, granted, they've been dealt with a lot of big injuries to big-name players. But even when they were healthy, they were still losing ball games. Yep. They were not scoring in the manner in which we believe they potentially could score based on the collective of players surrounding the quarterback position. And then after the injuries took place, clearly this team was not prepared to go. Who do you point the blame at? The head coach.
Yeah.
When you look at the lack of energy, the lack of emotions, not being prepared to start the football game or to finish a football game, and seeing players suspended, hearing that the locker room were not in agreement with McAdoo. They were not supporting some of his tactics. So I think this was the best move. And I think the final draw was basically McAdoo wanting to bench Eli Manning.
Yeah, and Jerry Reese has been there for an eternity. I think they kind of feel like this is a cleansing. Let's get everybody out and start anew. You wonder if Eli Manning will be back. To Eli's point, he said, I plan on playing quarterback next year.
And he will start this weekend.
That's right. He's going to play again this weekend. I just wonder if Eli Manning will be starting in New York next
year.
Well,
it depends on who they hire as the new head coach and the new GM.